Can the Panasonic Lumix S9 be a great platform for the next Panasonic Lumix Micro Four Thirds camera? I think the answer is yes. Hey friends, Gary here. Welcome to today's video. I think the Panasonic Lumix S9 is an interesting small full-frame camera. I think it is a very brave move for Panasonic Lumix to create this particular camera, and it has a lot of interesting things going on. However, I have a crazy idea these last few days that I think I want to share with you. What if Panasonic Lumix creates a new Micro Four Thirds camera using the existing S9 body as a platform, make some little adjustments here and there? I think it could be the Micro Four Thirds rangefinder camera that we might be looking for. I think this will be a smart move for Panasonic to do such thing, to create a Micro Four Thirds version out of the Panasonic Lumix S9. We've seen this before with the newer Panasonic Lumix G9 Mark II. It is a Micro Four Thirds camera, but it was using the full-frame S5 Mark II body. Although not all people agree on this particular move, I think it is a cost-efficient one because Panasonic Lumix don't have to invest on new tools to create this new camera. They can share similar bodies, so similar tools to create this particular camera that can be very cost efficient for them and also for the user as well. If you happen to be invested in both full frame and Micro Four Thirds Panasonic Lumix cameras, you can share accessories between the S9 with the upcoming Micro Four Thirds camera using the S9 body. I think that will be very interesting. There will be some other benefits as well of creating this S9 version of Micro Four Thirds camera. First of all, in-body image stabilization. So with the smaller Micro Four Thirds sensor being applied into the full-frame S9 body, I think this is the perfect opportunity to create a highly performing in-body stabilization that is much better than what the market has, especially in other camera formats, in APS-C and in full-frame. We can finally get IBIS that is matching the OM system Olympus cameras, or maybe even better, because Micro Four Thirds sensor is smaller compared to full frame, so stabilizing this smaller sensor might require less resource and could be easier, quote unquote, to achieve. Next possible benefit is overheating. Now with the S9 being a smaller full-frame camera, it does suffer with overheating with its smaller body. But now we're talking about Micro Four Thirds camera using smaller sensor. For people who are shooting video, I think this will be a great news. I think they can manage the heat better with the smaller sensor, recording high resolution video at higher frame rates and higher bit rate, things like that. I think this could be a possibility. This could be a great hybrid camera, not just for photography, but also for video in a nice compact form factor. Yeah, a lot of people are wanting that. And now people are not just invested in photography, they also want to do a little bit of video as well because of the presence of social media, Instagram, TikTok, and also YouTube, like what I'm doing right now. Other possible benefits of using S9 body for Micro Four Thirds form factor, I think, is to finally be able to use the smaller and lighter Micro Four Thirds lenses. Well, the S9 body isn't exactly huge. It is, I think, a miracle for a full-frame camera, but the lenses are still big and heavy. There are only a few options for smaller lenses for full-frame Panasonic Lumix cameras. But with Micro Four Thirds, look at this guy. This is the Panasonic Lumix 20mm f1.7. It is truly small, it is truly lightweight for travel and everyday photography. This is a fantastic option, and when you are finally be able to put small lenses like this into that smaller body, I think it's going to be a very big win for Panasonic Lumix, because I think that's what the market wants right now. Everybody wants a camera that they can carry every day for EDC photography, for just documenting their life in general, for lifestyle photography, for social media. They can finally start to compete with everyday carry cameras such as the Fuji X100 series or even possibly the Ricoh GR series. This is going to be very interesting. Furthermore, with the S9, Panasonic Lumix introduces the new Lumix Lab Realtime LUT, those kind of features. I think this is also another big win. Finally, an opportunity to implement it into a camera ecosystem that is this small, with lenses that will accommodate the smallness, the compactness of the camera, to make JPEG shooting even more interesting, because with this real-time LUT, the JPEG will look quote-unquote more cinematic. That's a very big selling point. Now people starting to switch from shooting RAW to only shooting JPEG because it is just faster, it is more convenient for everyday photography, and with this applied LUT on the images already, everything will look nice, everything will look cinematic. We finally have something that can compete with the king of JPEG, Fujifilm, film recipes, and also the filmic emulation stuff, using softwares, that kind of stuff. But this Lumix real-time LUT will be baked into the JPEG directly. I think this will be a great opportunity for Panasonic Lumix to finally eat into this market. I think this will be a really great seller. Anyway, enough about me. What about you? I want to hear from you as well. What do you think about this topic? What if Panasonic Lumix creates a Micro Four Thirds camera from the S9 body? Is it going to be a great move, or do you think this is a mistake? Please share down below. Let's have a little bit of a discussion, and don't be afraid to disagree with me. Let's learn from one another and have different kinds of perspectives on this particular matter. I love reading your comments. I love learning from you. Anyway, that's all for today's quick chat video. Hopefully this has been interesting, entertaining, and fun. Please don't forget to support my channel by liking this video, sharing this video, subscribing to my channel down below. And if you want to support my channel even further, which I will appreciate so much, please consider joining my Patreon membership, or check out my latest travel photography video course called Simplifying Travel Photography. I shot it in Iceland. It's going to be very interesting. Or check out the affiliate links on the description below, or use the super thanks button to make a small donation to my channel. Thank you very much, and I will see you on the next video. Goodbye.